quite frightening.
Literally, no one could. That was the saddest part. It's like no one was a clear winner.
TWB.
I was obviously the clear winner. I was
TWB. Coming at you. Another local basement.
I won.
So, did I ever tell you guys I want to start up a mumble rapping career?
I just lost the game. So
well, I guess I lost.
What do you got?
Nah, I'm just kidding. I want to start a mumble rapping career. I have more important issues, such as, okay, Brady, maybe you remember this story. The P chair.
The P chair. Oh my god.
I want you just to recite from memory everything you can about the P chair.
That was a frightening morning. I think I was the only one awake, and it was just me, you, and our other friend who will probably never make it on the podcast, M, who we're gonna call him M. And we ended up learning that this was a reoccurring event. So
oh yeah. We'll get to that.
We had a chair, a little folding chair, like the padded folding chairs with like your sport team logo on them.
It's like a turtle shell.
Yeah, like a turtle shell chair. So it was unfolded, and like we had all been sleeping, and we were up till like 1 or 2 in the morning the night before, and M and Shane were asleep, and I was the only one awake. I don't know why I was awake, but it was like 6 in the morning. So I'm laying there, just like minding my own business, scrolling through YouTube, and all of a sudden I hear somebody wake up. And, like, I'm like, hey, are you up? Nothing. I'm not hearing anything. And all of a sudden, like, I hear the blankets, like, rustle next to me because we were sleeping on the floor. And he gets up, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Like, you want to go get food or something? And nothing. And all of a sudden, I see him turn around, and, like, the chair blocked his lower, like, extremities. But, like, I just hear his waistband, like flick, you know, like on athletic shorts when you like pull your waistband out,
the snap.
The snap.
Example. I got you.
Yeah, like the snap. So I heard that, and I was like, "What in the hell is going on next to me?" So like I kind of like nudge my head over, I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And all of a sudden, I heard like the most frightening noise of my entire life. Like, have you ever poured water onto like canvas? And you hear, like, the splatter noise. That's what I heard. So, like, immediately I'm like, why is he pouring out a water bottle? Like, what's going on? And, like, I'm like, hey. And all I hear is, I'm like, what the hell? So, like, I'm laying there for a couple minutes, and, like, he stops, and it just abruptly stops. And then I hear, like, a drop, and I was like, I know exactly what he just did. So he lays back down, and I, like, look up, and I'm like, the hell? So I look down at the chair, and there's just like a giant puddle of like a mysterious liquid, and I was not in any way ready to like investigate. So I laid my head back down, and I acted like I was not awake, naturally as one does. So I'm like laying there, and like a minute or two goes by, and I'm like, what? Like I sniff the air, and I'm like, oh my god, that is 100% urine. Like, no doubt about it at this point. He peed in the chair. So I'm laying there for another hour, and like another hour goes by. It's 8 o'clock by this point, and I think I walked up to Shane, and I like shook him. I was like, yo dude, you have to wake up, we have to go get food or something. And like he's like, oh yeah, we get into the kitchen. I'm like, all right, I have to tell you something. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, Emma's still asleep, but I think he pissed in your chair. And he goes, what do you mean? I was like, I'm pretty sure he got up in the middle of the morning, whipped his meat out, and peed in your chair. And he goes, no, you're kidding. I was like, no, I'm not. So we like sit there and we contemplate how we're going to like confront him about it, because we don't want to embarrass him or like, you know, make him mad or anything.
So we started hinting at it, didn't we?
So we started hinting at it. So we're sitting here like, and we get on Xbox and we're like, you know, split screening some whatever video game we're playing, probably Call of Duty. And, like, we're like, so, Mitch, have you ever, like, sleptwalk?
M.
You can blur that out in post. Take it out in post. We're like, have you ever, like, sleptwalk? And he was like, no, I've never sleptwalk. And we're like, that's crazy. Like, I was just really curious. And he's like, yeah, no, but, my brother did one time, and when he did it, he peed down a flight of stairs. And we were like, were you guys in the same room that night? He was like, yeah, but I swear it was my brother. So, like, me and Shane immediately
fun
knew.
thing to add, later on, So the person whose house he was at later told me that it was him. It was M who
Definitely
did it,
him.
and then he blamed it on his brother. So it's just a little fun little detail.
So we later learned that this was like a reoccurring problem of him just peeing in the middle of his sleep, abruptly standing up and just whipping his meat out in front of like a room full of people and just peeing like while asleep. So like,
Oh, we were like 13 at the time.
we were hardcore hitting at it too. Like we were like, are you sure? Like he didn't, and like we looked at each other and he turns around and sits down in the chair, and like halfway he's like sitting there for me. He's like, man, like, and he like feels his like leg. And he's like, why is my leg wet? And he sniffs it. He's like, oh, it's piss. So like we're like, Mish, you peed in the chair. We didn't want to tell you. So yeah, it turned out to be an interesting situation where we had to break it to him that he pissed in the chair, and we ended up giving that chair to another person that we're probably
Yeah, this is actually a funny, ironic.
You gave the chair away?
We gave the chair
to Kyle.
The neighbor Kyle.
Okay.
We're calling him Kyle.
We're going to call
So
him, yeah.
the funny thing about this is Kyle also had his own weird peeing story. And
Kyle loved that chair, too.
He did love that chair.
He came in one time, and like he was like, guys, it's so crazy that I'm in here. Can I sit in this chair? And he loved it. He sat in the chair every single time that he wanted to come in.
So, anyways, how much younger is Kyle than us? He's probably like 5 years.
Yeah,
5 years. At the least.
Yeah.
I'd say about 5.
Remember, because when's Matthew in high school?
Oh yeah, he would be in high school
right now.
next year or something. Yeah, something like that. Anyways.
He would be a freshman?
No, maybe. No, I think he'd be a freshman next year. I think when you're a senior, you would have saw him.
Probably, yeah.
But anyways.
He got held back.
So, Kyle, always been a little. He likes attention, okay, but
A little rambunctious.
He kind of just gets into trouble.
Didn't get a lot of attention at home.
So when we were younger, way younger, he was even younger than us. He was probably like, I don't even know, like 5 at the time or something. Yeah. And he would just always run around and like he was always really high energy and stuff.
Striving for attention.
And he would ride his bike naked, okay, just around the neighborhood. He would just take off all his clothes and start riding his bike, and we thought it was funny, so we just let it happen.
Horrible role models.
But we weren't even that much. We were like 10. He was like 5. So I mean, we had no fault in that. So anyways, he would do that. And one time, he was just casually riding around his bike. He had clothes on at the time, and he pulls up next to like he has this like little electrical box in front of the house. There's like little round cylinder things. Yeah. Squats up right next to that thing. Takes off every bit of clothing he has on. And just lays a turd down on the ground right next to it. And it was yellow. Like, I kid you not, it was yellow. It was there for months. It was there for months. Like, I promise. It was, I would frequently come back to be like, wonder if it's still
fossilized,
there.
Didn't it?
Yeah. It was just a little yellow, little crusty thing. And I was like, oh my god, he really just did that. And like, we were just like, why? And he just thought it was so funny. He just giggled and pulled his pants back up and ride off on his bike. And that was just him. So then another time, this was either very close the same day or like around within a week of that happening. We had a bunch of Nerf guns, and we left them outside because we were just poor Nerf gun owners, right? Let them get rained on and stuff. And we told him one time because we were like getting older, so like whatever, you can have them, you can play with them now. So he takes all the Nerf guns, moves them over to the swing set, just one by one, and we're like, all right, this is weird, whatever. So then takes off his clothes again, just on spot, spins himself up in the swing, and starts peeing in a circle on them. Like, literally spinning and peeing at the same time on the Nerf guns. And we're like, dude, why? Like, we were so mad.
He's an innovator.
I know, like, I don't understand how or why it happened, but that was just him. All right, do you guys have any Kyle stories? Because that was my Kyle story.
One day, we're all just kind of hanging out in the front yard, and I pick up a rock from the sink. It's like this path of rocks. It's like,
how big is a rock?
And I don't know, maybe like a quarter.
Quarter? It was a little bigger than that.
Maybe a little bit bigger. And then so I was like...
diameter of a quarter.
Then like I like nudged person next to me, don't really know who it was. I was like Zach, how far away was Zach?
Oh my god.
30 yards?
Kyle.
How far was Kyle? 30 yards?
He was like, oh yeah. He was so far away.
Yeah, and 30 yards away. I was like, what are the chances of me hitting him with this freaking rock?
Yeah, he literally turned to me and said that. And then
I just launched it up with some altitude. Then about 3 seconds of hang time. It comes down like a bullet on his head, and you could hear it. It's like it was like this punching a coconut as hard as you could.
Yeah, no, it was like it literally sounded like a I don't even know, like a baseball hitting a concrete wall. It was just like, how much force? It couldn't have had that much force, but just somehow it just rained down with like the force of 1,000 suns right on his head.
And he's like on the ground crying, and I'm like, dude, it's like I think it was an acorn that fell from the tree. He's like
horrible.
Looks up in the tree. He's like, oh my god, how that happened?
At first he thought he knew it was Colin. At first, and he started yelling at him like he drools and stuff when he yells and like starts spitting at him.
It's very intense.
He's like, "What the heck, man? Why would you do that?" All this stuff. And we're scared he's gonna tell his mom because Colin really wasn't trying to hurt him. Like we just genuinely did not think in a million years Colin throwing it as high as he could, it would land him right in the head.
So then like a baseball.
It's like another person
Speaking of baseball,
was domed by a ball. Oh,
that's a whole other person. That's gonna be a whole other episode. Story Speaking of baseball, does everyone remember the time where Kyle put a hole in the basketball hoop out there?
They broke the plexiglass.
I just want to throw out that Kyle might be the most uncoordinated child I've ever met in my life.
Literally, we give him baseball.
The one time.
I think it's a softball. We just found a softball game.
The one time he actually hit something against the glass backboard. And puts a clear, perfect speed right through the backboard. And then he just sprints back into his house.
So many things around this place have been broken. Like you have a
screen.
You have a screened-in back sunroom in your house, and like he has ripped apart every single screen in that back.
Like the trampoline.
The trampoline. We'd sit in the room right now.
The basement.
The basement, and. Yeah, we have the basement window open. and he'd come to the window and like just really watch us at the room.
Oh, yeah, because we wouldn't let him in the house because we were like, we just don't want you to.
You can't let that stank come in.
Yeah, he
never showered.
Never showered.
It wasn't the best smell.
He was also just very wild. We just didn't want it. So we would play video games and we would let him watch through the window.
Yeah,
pretty messed up.
He would wake us up by banging on the
oh my god,
in the morning, ungodly hours of the morning.
Dude, I swear, like he like gnaw on the freaking screen or something.
3 o'clock in the morning one day, he comes over and starts banging on the window. Do you guys remember that?
Oh my god!
It was like wee hours. Like we were like, "How are you outside? Like, where's your mom?" He's like, "Oh, she's asleep. I snuck out the front door."
I remember that.
What the hell?
Give her something. He was like, "Dude, I lost my roller skates." That's what he said.
Yeah.
He's like, "Have you seen my roller skates?" We're like, "It's 2 a.m." And he was like, "I didn't tell him about. Don't tell her. Where's my roller skates?"
The kind of problems that keep Kyle up at night.
Now, you mentioned breaking the trampoline. That was Colin and I.
Yeah,
we broke the trampoline.
No. I meant the screen around it.
Yeah, that's.
Kyle
we used to have
would
a.
Dude,
I
remember him. Kyle and his little brother JP, they'd always wrestle on the freaking trampoline.
Oh god!
And we'd like always sit there watch them wrestle.
And
oh yeah, we would hallucinate that too. We'd be like,
"There's a torpedo and crusher
in this corner, torpedo." Like a little WWE.
There was
match.
definitely some underground.
They were our entertainment. We just lived with
I think because JP was crushing music. Crusher.
There was underground gambling going on.
And then one time we actually had a full-on MMA match at the park with those two. We recorded the whole thing.
It's so messed up.
Apparently Kyle fights for pink slips now.
Yes.
I mean, we heard probably like too fast, too furious, and we heard that.
Yeah. Also, according to him, it's only over when he breaks your ankles.
Because he's so speedy.
It's just problematic.
Good old Kyle.
Very problematic.
So the other things, like I know that like we used to hit bike ramps. Like there's little crappy ramps you can get at like Target. And we just hit jumps on them of like gaps to like 3 feet and stuff, and think we were cool. And so he looked up to us. We were his role models. Very ill-advised role models. Just
horrible
role models.
Jumping bikes on ramps really isn't that bad of a role model.
Yeah, but
just
us
like,
as the role model. Literally anybody else can be the role model, but us, I don't know.
Yeah,
but anyways, he would watch us. And he'd be like, "Oh man, I want to do that." And he's like, "I want to beat my effing record." Like, he'd always say that. Like, that was like, if we call it records, like how far he could go. And so we would always just let him go, run at it, keep hitting the jumps and stuff. And like, I just remember he would always like wreck and like roll his bike and then go inside and never come back out. And we just like all right, whatever, just be gone for the day.
What about Brady when he wrecked his bike?
I was like, Brady?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There was this coveted spot, like I don't even know how we'd always measure out. It was probably like 10-foot gap or something that we would just always put there because like we got to the point where we're like, all right, we're serious in this now. We can like hit big jumps and stuff, you know. So there's like this coveted gap that was just like the holy grail of bike jumping.
Sit there and just loom over us.
Oh yeah, and it's just like
whoever hits this person, like
whoever hits it is
It was like the Sandlot fence. Like whoever can jump it is like.
So anyways, we would go all the way to the other, because like usually when you hit the ramp, you just kind of come in from the middle of the court and just hit the jump or just whatever. We would start all the way in the back of this person's driveway, actually Crazy Tim's driveway, all the way from Crazy Tim's driveway, zoom down his driveway and then run up and hit the ramp. So then me and our other friend R hit it, right? And so Brady's looking, he's like, "Hey man, I want to do that." You guys remember this? Brady's coming.
I'm the youngest. Okay, so time out. I'm the youngest in the group. I was
by 3 months.
But, but I'm a whole grade below you guys. So I'm the youngest in the group, and I also was later moving into the neighborhood. So like,
we always bullied him.
Yes, I was always bullied because I was a new kid. Still bullied constantly.
We always thought he wore mascara.
That was
it's not my fault. You have long eyelashes too, alright? It's not even my fault.
Anyways, alright. This is not.
I hate you guys so
much. Therapy session.
So anyways, you know why I'm here.
So Brady comes barreling down from Crazy Tim's driveway.
Pretty speedy.
And at this point, we would get like a pretty good viewing when we're doing our jumps. Like we do it like once every week, maybe sometimes every day.
The whole neighborhood came out.
The whole neighborhood would come out. Crazy Tim would be out sometimes. My parents would be out. Brady's parents would be out. Our parents would be out. Zach's parents. Literally just the whole squad. We were literally just and they'd all be scared for our lives because we were actually hitting some crazy jumps, right?
We thought they were. We were literally X Games in the court.
We really were. So anyways, Brady's barreling in, right? This is all building up. Everyone's watching. Everyone's just silent, just watching him. You're just in awe. Brady's the spotlight, right? He's on his big mountain bike. Like, he's just like not built for jumping whatsoever. It's so heavy. He hits the ramp. He's up in the air, and it's like picture perfect. Like he's just floating, right?
I thought I was gonna make it too.
Everyone thought he was gonna make it, and then he lands in such a way that his front tire is on the front of the landing ramp. His back tire is behind the front of the landing ramp, and like the middle just fully hit like the crest of the ramp. And then just tips over and falls, and we're like, "Oh my god!"
Full body extension.
I don't remember. Were you crying?
I didn't cry, but like I hurt.
He was very hurt, and we were just like, "Oh my god!"
It wasn't really pain, more or less, to my physical body.
It was emotional.
It was my pride.
Yeah. Court falls inside.
It was just like a huge gasp, like just
Yeah, so it was like it hurt.
So then, anyways, Brady's mom. I think did your mom run over, or did you run to your house?
I walked to my house.
Brady walked to his house. Run. Yeah. So like, we kind of like take. I think your bike broke. I don't remember. I thought something broke.
Yeah, handlebars like bent down onto my lap. I could never get him fixed.
And Brady like goes into the court, and then like we're all just like it's kind of just like bad vibes for
the just like all just sit there with our mouths open.
Yeah, we're just kind of sitting there chilling. Brady comes back out like 20 minutes later with a wristband, like a wrist guard. What do you even call that? Oh my god,
a
splint asleep.
Yeah.
He's like, "Guys, I sprained my wrist." It was like, Brady, you just went in your house for 20 minutes. How do you know you sprained your wrist? And like that was like the joke forever. Like we just joke about how he sprained his wrist. And he comes out and he's like, "Yeah, I can't hit bike ramps anymore." And I remember our parents would not let him hit bike ramps without a motorcycle helmet after that because of that.
The downfall of the BMX beast,
right?
Yeah.
The cycling centurion.
Yeah, and then I passed those ramps on to Kyle.
I retired.
It's the mountain bike massacre.
Dude.
Yeah, that's what it was, man.
That was so bad.
It was miserable. Yeah.
That reminds me of when I was on my birthday. Because when I very first got these ramps, like I was too scared to hit jumps on them, so I kind of just like rode over them. And I was riding really slow up the one. Like, was anyone there? I think you were there. I was riding really slow up it, and I got stuck at the top and just tipped over. And like, I still have a scar. Like, that's how I got that scar on my hand.
Jesus.
It's like, yeah, and I literally just like slowly
road
topple over and land. I get this road burn everywhere. Like, it was just like the most embarrassing ever because it was my birthday and everyone's watching me. Just slowly crest up the ramp.
How about the time you went to the park and you jumped off the roof of one of the buildings or whatever you want to call them? And literally broke your arm there.
We were all little maniacs.
Dude, no, 'cause here's the funny part about that arm story, right? Because I remember, literally, me and my brother, okay, we used to, like, my mom would have to, like, take us to the park, she'd have to watch us or whatever, right? And then finally she gets him a phone, and she's like, "Okay, I trust you. You two can go to the park without me now." Literally, I'm pretty sure it was the day he got his phone. And she finally trusts us, and she was like, "All right, guys, just be safe. Please just don't get hurt. That's all she said. Just send us on our way, right? So we go march over to the park. It's our first day of freedom, right? We go to the park, and all of our friends are there. And even, like, there's, like, these certain friends we would see, like, once every, like, 3 months. And just, like, it was just them, like, the boys.
Who lived
and
half a mile away, maybe.
Oh, yeah, but we would just barely ever see them. But they were, like, you know, the bad, like,
they're a lot older than us.
Yeah,
They're on the other side
they were
of town.
older than us. And, like, what we were to Kyle is what they were to us, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because they were older than us, we just like wanted to impress them and all this stuff. So, anyways, we get to the park, and we're all like playing basketball or whatever and stuff. And afterwards, someone was like, "Yeah, I used to jump off the top of this thing," and I was like, "Oh, that's stupid. That's not even that hard." And he's like, "Why don't you do it?" And everyone looks at me, and I'm like, "All right, well, I guess I gotta do it now." So
You put me in this
so,
predicament.
like, just picture a playground structure like you play on, and it's like not even that tall. It's like 13 feet high, maybe.
Yeah, I can already picture.
Were you off the high
you
one?
in
or
your
the
middle
low one?
militia hat, long hair coming down.
Were you
Sitting there on the
from
top
tall one
of
or
the thing,
short one?
looking down.
There's a short one.
Oh, the short one? Yeah, the short one's like 10, 15 feet.
10, 15 feet. So anyways,
yeah.
I climb up on it, right? And like it looked so easy from on the ground, but
Yeah.
I'm finally up there. I'm like, oh my god! Like it literally just felt like I was on top of a building, like wind blowing. I'm like staring at the ground, like oh
the
my
Eiffel
goodness,
Tower.
this is it. And everyone's just like, jump, you can do it. And I was like, why don't you guys do it? And they're like, I've already done it before. So like they would definitely just talk me into doing it. So as I'm looking, I'm like, all right, whatever. And I jump, and like instead of like being smart and just sliding off of it to land on my feet, I physically jumped. And I literally landed hands first on the ground, and literally my left elbow to the ground, like my hand is to the ground, and it like bends my left elbow. And I literally just stand up and I'm like, ow. And I just started running in circles screaming. Like I wasn't crying or anything, but I was just like, ow, ow, ow. And I was like, this is not okay. And then everyone ends up leaving. And little did I know, my other neighbor, we have so many neighbors that I can't think of a name. She's an adult. She's friends with my mom. And she has a kid who's younger than Kyle. And anyways, she was there with her son, who was like 3 at the time or 2 at the time, and she watched. And she was actually cool, and I was like, please don't tell my mom. So anyways, I go home, and because I was like, okay, if my mom finds out, she's literally going to like never let us go to the park alone again. This is literally the first day of freedom I do this. So go home, you know, and afterwards, I'm kind of like, I finally told her, I was like, Mom, my elbow really hurts. And she was like, what'd you do? Like, she was, like, mad at me, kind of, because she knew I got into trouble, because I'm that kid. And I told her I did it playing basketball, because, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell her I jumped off something, because I felt like basketball made a little bit more sense.
Right.
And she's kind of mad at me. She's like, whatever. And she sent me to school the next day with the broken elbow. We didn't know it was broken at the time. So I'm, like, at school, and, like, literally my arm's turning purple. Like, it just, like, starts turning purple. And I had, like, an ace bandage wrapped around it. I was like, guys, this really hurts. Like, no one believed me, none of my teachers. And finally, my mom felt bad and called me out of school early and took me to the doctor. And then the doctor was like, all right, there's no way, like, you did this playing basketball. And, like, I finally came clean. And my mom was like, you lied to me. She's like, I don't even feel bad I sent you to school now. Like, right in front of the doctor. I was like, God dang it.
I just said something your
Oh,
mom
because
said.
the doctor was skeptical. So then...
Well, the doctor probably thought that she beat you.
Right? So anyways, that's my elbow story. All because I wanted to be a little Kyle to my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You guys have, like, funny injury stories?
Nope.
I've only broken my collarbone.
Oh, that's a funny story. The collarbone.
When I was we were done playing football at our regular like football practice.
Yeah.
Freshman year. And we were coaches for the Powder Puff team. So we go over there and meet for the Powder Puff team. Like
Powder Puff is like
oh yeah,
football.
when girls play football and football players coach them.
Yeah.
So we were over there and we're just messing around, and then someone just bombs me a ball, and of course I take the challenge of trying to catch it. I go over there, I dive for it, I land on my shoulder, and I hear a pop, and then I just sat up and I was like, well, that hurt really bad.
Oh, this is all within probably 30 seconds of him being dropped off to the practice by his mom. So his mom's still at the parking lot, watches him go up with his deep pass thrown by the quarterback of the team. And he runs, tries to catch it, and falls. And she literally just, like, gets out of her car and she's like, Colin.
Well, because, like, someone else came up to me, he's like, grabbed me by both my shoulders.
Oh, my, it starts shaking.
Shaking me back and forth. He's like, oh, you almost got it. And I was, like, almost passed out in pain. And I was, like, just, like, going in and out of conscious with how much pain I was in. My mom's, like, looks at me, and I guess the motherly instinct kicked in. She's like, something's wrong. And she gets up. She's like, you all right? And I'm like, nah. I was like, we need to leave. And she's like, all right, we grab my stuff.
First day of practice.
Go to the hospital. I get shot up with fentanyl, and I felt great.
Turns out he broke his collarbone.
Drugs are
broke my
bad,
collarbone.
kids.
Dude, collarbones are apparently, like, serious injury. Like, one of the worst
I
pains.
freaking there'd be a huge
Very
lump where I
Like usually when I hear about someone passing out from a pain of an injury, it's usually a collarbone.
Yeah,
You know what?
I
Even
remember
more.
I'd roll over in my sleep at night on it. I remember one
Yeah.
time I was like sitting there in my bed and I was just like sweating so bad I was in pain. It's awful.
Femur is the
No.
worst bone to break.
Funny story. I know Sully wants to tell this one. When you got addicted to the stuff they gave you for a little bit, you remember that?
God, I don't even want to get on. I don't even want to get into that.
That was pretty funny.
I tell you what, though. when I
You
was
had a
little-
drug addiction?
Yes.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
Pretty severe one.
It was kind of funny, and it was like
It's not funny at all.
the way he delivered it was funny. Like, do you want to say it or no? Like, it's actually pretty funny.
Is that for your?
I'll let you explain it.
Okay,
You want?
it was your appendicitis, right?
Yeah.
So he got appendicitis, and like, did they remove it? I don't even know. Did they?
Yeah.
So they removed his appendix and they
They have
put him
to.
on. What was it?
Percocet.
Percocets. They put him on Percocets, and literally, I just remember him telling me, and I was like, dude, so how are they? Like, because I was just like young and I was curious. I was like, how are they? Like, are they good? He's like, yeah, man, they're amazing. And he's like, but like, I think I might be addicted. I was like, what? It's like, man, like, I'll literally just go to take one, and I just can't stop taking them. Let's keep taking
my
them.
I takes one and an hour later, like, I think I need another one.
Let's keep coming back. And I was like, dude, this is like a 14-year-old kid.
I was 15.
Oh my
15.
god!
I remember they gave me Percocets for my collarbone, and that was
Opioids are
the
such a
best
problem.
time of my life. Because I was sitting on my couch, homecoming night. Did I, as can be on Percocets, and I get to the peak high and just fall asleep. And it was
Yeah.
like the best sleep I've ever had in my life.
Dude, it's
And-
like, I can't believe doctors let that happen.
And me and Shane cannot relate at all because both of our mothers are smart enough not to let
Yeah, like
doctors
when-
give us opioids.
Yeah, like when my spleen thing happened, my mom
They
wouldn't
gave
let
me
me.
they gave me 2 at the hospital. They kept on feeding me them at the hospital.
Two.
They're candy. They just kept on giving them. To
I
me.
don't understand. Like, that's
Well,
why there's an
'cause- okay,
opioid
so
epidemic. Is
the
because
thing-
I blame the doctors for
No,
that.
okay, so
Why-
hospitals get paid for pain management. So if you're sitting in the hospital and you aren't getting medication, they don't get paid by the pharmacies.
Conspiracy.
It kind of is, honestly.
And I remember my mom was like, he's like, you just gave him 4 Percocets. I think he's gonna be all right. I said, trying to give me like another dose. I'm like, it was jeez.
I remember one time
Crazy.
when I was little, I had a neighbor, and I'm just gonna call him D.
Little D.
He was about 9 or 10 years older than me, but he would, like, for some reason, I don't know, he would just hang out with me every day. Like, he just had nothing better to do for some reason. Like, he would just hang out with me every single day, right? So, he would always just be such a bad influence on me. He'd always get me to do the most stupid stuff.
So you were the Kyle to D.
I was literally, like, super Kyle to D.
Super Kyle.
I was super Kyle to D. I was such an idiot. And, we had a BB gun, like one of like the metal
Oh my
you can
goodness.
take out like small birds with it and stuff like
This
that.
is going nowhere well.
And he had an old pair of boots, right? And he proceeded to try to tell me that the BBs couldn't hit your foot; it would pass right through your foot. And I was like 5. He was like, "I swear, shoot into the look. I'll do it right now." Of course, he curls his toes back. And it goes through, right? I was like, wow, oh my god, it went right through your foot. I was so amazed by this. I was awestruck. So he's like, you do it. I was like, alright, fine. I finally, like, got the guts to go ahead and do it. So I'm like, alright, like, I breathe, like, alright, like, I load the gun. It's like one of those big barrels. Like, the first time I forgot to load it, because I just had so much adrenaline pumping through me. So I load it, and I go and I put it on the toe. I'm like, alright, this is it.
Oh my god.
It's like
This
Cheddar
is
Bob.
it. I pull the trigger, boom. So I kind of just sit there for a minute. I kind of look at him. I look back at the shoe, and I look back at him, and I start bursting out in tears.
Oh my god.
I
Did
take,
you go through your
I
foot?
take the shoe off, and I have a hole in my toe.
Like, is it on your is it on your toenail?
No, it was through my toe.
Oh my god, I could imagine the pain.
So luckily enough, my big toe and my my second toe in were like split a little bit,
It
and it
grazed
hit
through
the
them?
side. No, it went in the side of my toe.
Oh my
Of my
God.
second toe, and it went out the bottom of it.
Oh my
Oh,
It
god.
got stuck
So
in
just
the bottom
all
of the
flesh?
shoe. Yeah, and there's just a little red BB just
Oh
peeking
my
out the bottom of
God.
the shoe. Just covered my toe blood.
That shit must be. I couldn't even imagine the pain.
I lied to my mom about it, and we just wrapped it up in a band-aid, and I never said a word. Never said a word about it.
Does she know about it now?
Oh, the truth comes
No,
out.
I never told her.
It comes out now.
That's so
I got
funny.
injured so much as a kid and never told her.
Oh, that's actually hilarious.
Somebody's gonna have to shoot her the link to this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good lord.
It's a good story.
I think on that note,
Yeah, we're coming up on the
coming up
mark.
on our
But
mark.
speaking of Kyle, there are more Kyle stories to come.
Oh yeah.
Tune in next time on the Tyrone Shoelace Chronicles. So, this has been TWB. And, Sully, do you know what it stands for? You know what TWB stands for.
Oh, yeah. TWB stands for